At the age of 22, I got married to a girl with whom I studied together, and we had a daughter. My parents initially did not very much approve of this choice, but later accepted it and calmed down. At the beginning of our marriage, my mother and wife quarreled a few times, but during the first few years I often had to reconcile them. And both women felt that I did not always take their side and resented me. We ran into financial difficulties, both of us not local in town, not from wealthy families, and we had to work hard to make ends meet. I worked late into the night and sometimes even did extra work for other organizations. I tried to help my wife in raising our daughter, but sometimes I did it without much enthusiasm. After working hours, I used to devote 2-3 hours to walk with my daughter. My wife also made efforts, cooking and doing household chores, and I am always grateful to her for that. As time passed, we both started to feel tired. I was still working hard while my wife returned from maternity leave. We had to take out a loan to buy our own apartment and subsequently ran into problems with construction fraud. In addition, my wife began to suspect that I was hiding money from her and went to a fortune teller who told her that I had a mistress and was spending money on her. This caused a scandal, and she asked me to leave. I tried to persuade her to come back for the first month, but then decided to accept her decision. After 2 months, she contacted me herself and offered to come back, and I happily agreed as I wanted to get back to her and my daughter. We continued to work and take care of our family, but our relationship began to suffer. I found a high-paying job, and we decided to take out a mortgage to buy an apartment, which led to additional financial obligations. I continued to work on projects and earn well, but our relationship remained strained. Despite my best efforts, I felt that my wife was not satisfied with my actions. Due to renovation and vacations abroad, we again faced financial difficulties, and my wife felt that I was not earning enough, that my friends were better off than me. This added to the tension. In 10 years of marriage, I remained faithful and did not cheat. I did not abuse alcohol or lead a dissolute lifestyle. My goal was to provide for my girls. I paid little attention. When I showed affection and tenderness towards my wife, she often responded coldly or even rejected me. I decided that she did not need my tenderness. We rarely had an intimate relationship. My last successful project was the cause of our quarrel. My wife demanded more time together, but I asked her to wait 3 months to finish the project and then leave all the leftover stuff to start from scratch together. During this project, I had a stroke at the age of 30. It caused serious problems. I was losing the ability to walk normally. I lost 25 pounds, and I had to spend 3 months in the hospital. My mother was with me, and my wife was with me only 1 day a week, as she had her own work and worries. Despite all the difficulties, I completed the project. However, this was followed by depression and medical treatment due to the severity of the stroke. The doctors gave no hope for a full recovery, and I looked for ways to recover, including considering sanatoriums. My wife at this time was paying more attention to herself. I offered to go to a sanatorium together, but she preferred a sea vacation, believing it would help her and the baby. I tried to explain to her the importance of my recovery, but I could not convince her. So she went to the sea with her daughter and her aunt, while I stayed at my parents' house because I was very difficult and scared. During this time I had another seizure, but I was able to cope with it. It was 3 months later, and she told me that she didn't love me anymore. However, I could already sense that she was getting ready to leave me and persisted in asking her to reconsider her decision. We continued together for another 6 months, but during that time I had surgery. Then I discovered a correspondence between her and her friend in which she confessed her feelings for him, but he rejected her. Later she was chatting with a guy she liked before me and texted him saying he was her true love and I was a mistake. This caused a scandal, and I left, leaving my daughter with her. It has now been a year, and she has been seeing a new partner for 6 months. They met in a bar. In the meantime, I am renting an apartment, working and trying to recover, struggling with occasional depressive states. It's not all easy, and I realize I retain feelings for her. She constantly accuses me of not appreciating her, not being gentle enough, and now she has a gentle man. She herself has changed, becoming more active, frequenting clubs, making new friends, and being the soul of the company. She also consulted a fortune teller who advised her to leave, calling me an evil man. Truthfully, when I left, I said many hurtful words to her. The funny thing is that a few years ago, I asked her what would happen if something happened to me, and she guaranteed she would stay with me. Now she says, "Do you want me to stay out of pity?" This experience has shown me that you shouldn't sacrifice yourself for your family, and sometimes people don't appreciate you until they see how they can lose you. That's the end of the story. Write your opinion in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and rate the video with a like. Thank you.